guys, welcome to season 2 of the Unvaulted Podcast. I am your host, Squatingdog, but Tabor Hill calls me Squatingdog, and that really hurts my feelings, man. Anyways, this season of the podcast, we are capturing massive benchmark moments of Fortnite's history and interviewing those who are influential at making this game what it is today. We already have had some incredible gamers on the podcast thus far. However, today is really special, because we have two of the most requested individuals on the exact same podcast. We are about to stress test the amount of hype that this podcast can handle. You absolutely cannot talk about Fortnite without having this guy etched through Epic Games history books. This absolute unit has been providing the highest tier ceiling of gameplay for years now. He has accomplished so much in such a short amount of time, and he is renowned as the Fortnite World Cup champion, Bugha. What's up, dude?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And joining this W here is the man who wrote the book on how to win Fortnite. This multi-million follower content creator is a YouTube superstar with his e-boy looks, gaming fingers, and growing more chiseled by each season. Literally taller than most trees, this legendary trap king, SypherPK. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I honestly thought in the intro for Bugha that you were about to intro me, but then when you said World Cup champion, I was like, wait a minute.
Don't have that on my resume. What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys feeling about being on today's podcast today?
I'm super excited. Haven't done one of these in a long time, so it'll be nice to have like kind of a refresher and talk about, just a lot of old things and new things.
I love talking about Fortnite. That's all I do. So this is just an extension to that.
You came to the right place. Well, what we're trying to do, guys, is we're capturing the legends that have made the game what it is today. How do the both of you feel? How do you guys feel about being considered as like an icon of Fortnite?
I guess I'll start. Being an icon of Fortnite, like that's honestly got to be one of the craziest things. I mean, I'm still super young, so for me to have something like that, also a skin in the game, is just actually ridiculous. Fortnite's one of like the biggest games ever, and to kind of be idolized in a way in the game like that is just something so crazy, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Allie?
It is like quite a cool experience, and I feel like when I started, I was like no one really knew who I was. Kind of first time in a big video game like Fortnite. Prior to this, it was all kind of small time games. So to go from just kind of starting off and having barely anybody watching my stuff to be where I am today and kind of be one of the faces of Fortnite content and Fortnite updates and the how to win series and all that stuff, it's a really cool feeling. It feels like all these years of playing the game and making content around it really paid off, and there's a sense of purpose there.
That's amazing. Well, as you guys know, this podcast is officially sponsored by Epic Games. They're a small indie company who created a game called Fortnite, who coined the popular phrase, use code, fill in the blank. With Chapter 3 right around the corner, make sure you have that code filled in. There's 2 options right here, 2 really good options that you could put in. But thanks again, Epic Games, for supporting this podcast. So we're going to start off with a few icebreakers, boys, to kind of get us warmed up, get us ready for the podcast. So we're going to start with Sypher. I need you to tell me how you pronounce Kyle's screen name. Is it Bugha or is it Bugha?
So proper pronunciation might be Bugha, but I always go Bugha because whenever I think of his name, I think of courage.
Yep.
Yelling out his name, Bugha. So like that's how I hear it in my head. So it's Bugha.
Is that correct, Kyle?
I mean, you could say it's correct now. Early on, when I first started playing games, didn't have anything going on. I used to say Bugha. It's kind of what nobody says. I honestly don't think I've heard anyone say that in the past like year. Bugha. Everyone either says Bugha, Bugha, or like I don't even know, some other crazy way. But yeah.
I also blame Courage for this. I feel like he's the reason. So if there's anybody to take up beef with, it's definitely him. Okay, Bugha, what are your thoughts on what PK stands for? We know Cypher is SypherPK.
Oh man,
What does PK stand for? And if you don't know, maybe make a guess.
Okay. Okay, PK. So it's either his first and last name, because I'm not sure what Cypher's first name is, honestly, but or it could be something for an old game he played. I think it was ESO or something. RuneScape or something like that. Could be a runoff of something from there, but
see, that's how I know he's young. You know, you ask the older guys, and
dude, I mean, yeah.
So before people start saying like PvP, player versus player,
yeah,
in MMOs, like PK was the thing to say, player killing. So player killer, player killing, SypherPK, Cypher player killer.
So I'm kind of close, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of close.
You were on the way for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so if you guys could have a collaboration, right? You can choose a collaboration to have inside of Fortnite. Anything, you know, something you love, whatever it could be. What would you have in it and why?
Collaboration.
Anything. We've had artists, we've had, you know, we just got Jordan's back, you know, even today. What are something that you would love to have inside of the game of Fortnite right
now? Man, they need to probably make a POI that's like a gym or something, and me and Cypher can, you know, be the owners of that, because biggest Fortnite players out there, and yeah, just have it labeled as his and mine.
Yeah, Bugha PK gym.
There you go. Yeah.
Outside of the gym, I feel like I really like the Naruto collaboration. That was like my favorite one that they've done. So I would want more of that. Maybe an Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Z.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
And if we're thinking video games, I would like to see a RuneScape collaboration. It might not be like the biggest market, but I feel like I would personally be really attached to that.
You would be the reason why it would be bigger, though. So that if they're going to come to anybody, they're going to come to you. I still, like, to this day, want Nintendo in on this chaos and craziness that is Fortnite. It would be so rad. Cool. Well, my last question for you guys, at least for the warm up, is best and least favorite weapon of all time in Fortnite. What is your least and favorite weapon of all time?
Wow. Okay, so I think my favorite weapon of all time would probably have to be the Spaz shotgun. Just because I play comp so much, and when you have one of those weapons, it is just
game over.
Immediately a game changer, literally. And then I guess worst weapon, man. That one's hard. There have been a lot of weapons since season 1. So I remember at one point was it the drum shotgun? I think it was the primal shotgun at the very beginning of the season. Like, that shotgun was just so busted. And when I was playing arena every day, someone was just running at me, just boom, I'm gone in half a second, literally. So that's probably what I remember, or probably like a grenade launcher or something.
That's good.
Yeah,
I'll say the primal shotguns. Like, there's a lot of bad weapons, right?
Yeah.
Like, right now we have the dual crossbow, or any of the crossbows for that matter, were really bad. But I didn't hate them. I just avoided them. I definitely hated the primal shotgun, like, with a passion. Did not like the primal. So we'll have the same answer on that. But for my favorite weapon, the Spaz is great, but I do have like a specific favorite that I just love having. It's the gold rapid fire SMG. And to this day, so many people still run the P90 over it. And I just feel like that 1.4 second reload, it's like double the speed of the P90. It's so good to just constantly spray and never having to like really stop, just constant pressure.
It eats builds, literally eats builds. It's fantastic.
And it's the only, like, kind of like a math thing, but it's the only weapon in Fortnite that can like slip in 2 bullets per wall break. Yep. Every other weapon can only slip in 1 at most if it shoots fast enough, but it's the only one that shoots so fast that it can hit somebody twice while they're trying to build a wall to protect themselves. So
I'm kind of bummed that you shared that, because now all of the listeners will start using it more, and it'll make
I talk about it all the time.
There was one point in comp where, like, literally everyone that picked up a P90 instantly switched it to a rapid fire, and I don't know what it was. Cypher, I think didn't you make a video on it or
Yeah.
something? Yeah,
Like
so
5 videos.
it honestly probably was that, and everyone was just using a rapid fire, and it was
Yep.
getting a little crazy, just getting shot through your builds all the time.
Well, it's really exciting, boys, that we got chapter 3 right around the corner. And I think one thing that I want to capture with you guys is your origin stories with Fortnite. I think it would be silly not to recognize that Fortnite has affected everybody here. And so I would love to hear why Fortnite, how did it come into existence for you as a content creator, and what keeps you playing it right now?
Right, so starting off, back freshman year of high school, 9th grade, I was playing a few console games. I was playing like Call of Duties, NBA 2K, and then the only game that I played on PC was Minecraft. I figured out with my friends that Fortnite became a free-to-play game on console, and back during that time, we all used to play the same games together. We all kind of just always played together and always had a good time. And I remember once they came out, my friends told me about it and we all got hooked on it instantly. Like it was one of those games where we just couldn't stop playing. We got home from school and literally that was the only thing we were doing. Um, and we did that for quite a while, and I started getting a little bit better than them. And it kind of got to the point where I was playing more on my own than I was playing with them. So I started watching a few streamers, two of the biggest names at that time, Myth and Ninja, and I figured out that they were PC players actually. And it looked really cool the way they could build and move around a little bit faster. So it made me actually switch to PC around season 3 of chapter 1, I believe. So I switched over to PC and copied all of TSM Myth's binds. I remember every single thing. I went into his settings, copied everything, and I used those binds all the way up until World Cup pretty much. So big shout out to Myth for that. But yeah, I mean, I switched over, didn't really have many people to play with. Kind of got into the competitive side of it just randomly. I had one of my old friends that I played Minecraft with connect me with some people who were trying to, go pro in the game and try to advance a little bit more than just the casual. So we started playing scrims every day. We got pretty good at them. We got invited to the higher ups of Discords. Just started playing, having a good time, enjoying the game, and then randomly, just got a feeling of wanting to be the best. And I pretty much devoted, everything I did into being a comp player and, trying to become a big streamer and, just pop off competitively. I remember I didn't really stream much before then. I streamed a little bit whenever I was playing the scrims because sometimes top names would be playing in there, and if you killed them, your name would appear on their screen, and you could get some followers off of it.
Yeah,
and that was a pretty cool time. But one of my most memorable moments from all of early chapter 1 and just rising up was I think I killed Hamlins at like 3 a.m. one night when I was just randomly streaming, and my viewer count shot up to like 300, 400. And at the time, like still is, that's like a crazy number, like 300, 400 people, and everyone was just following me nonstop. And that was kind of the start of my, I guess you could say, streaming career that really inspired me and kind of showed me that, you put in effort and you do good things and, people will come and people will support you. And had a lot of people like, wow, you're crazy. That was so good. You're insane. And, that just pushed me and motivated me even more to just continue playing, continue streaming and all that. So kind of from there, just kept going up and up, just kept playing competitive. And eventually, got to the point where I am today after winning the World Cup and all that. So pretty much what happened, just, an early high school teenager, just playing video games and, their dream came true, I guess.
That's awesome. Where can we copy your keybinds now? I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that are like, this is a secret formula and I need to know.
Yeah, I changed a little bit of my keybinds. I think I switched like Like 1 or 2, just because they were so unoptimal, meaning you can't move in certain directions when you're building all the time. And as the game's advanced,
Yeah.
movement is super important, and so is building. So I switched them a little bit just to be able to kind of have a little bit of a upper edge when I'm fighting other people. But
Yeah, it's
yeah, I
tough.
mean, just go to any streams and just check out the binds in the bottom right, settings video, something.
Come through.
Yep.
What about you, PK? Origin story.
Yeah, quick question, Bugha. The friend you were playing with initially, was that Cody?
Cody. No, Cody came along when I got into the practice Discord. So that was kind of when I was coming up a little bit more. Like that
Okay.
was when I was getting into the pro scene. But Cody kind of introduced me to a lot of your things. That's why I said ESO. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He introduced me to
I
all
was
of
like an
that.
Elder Scrolls streamer, Elder Scrolls
Right.
Online, so like the MMO version. It's funny is that me and Cody actually were like
Yep.
scrimming in Elder Scrolls
Yep.
before I went to Fortnite. So we both had like duo partners for a moment of time, the same person. It's kind of small world, but I was a full-time streamer for a couple years before Fortnite. You know, played Elder Scrolls Online. That's really where I got my start. And then I started playing a game called For Honor professionally. It's
Yeah.
like a medieval fighting game. So I was doing that, and then towards the end of like that run of competing, someone said, "Oh, this game called Fortnite came out. You should play it." And this was like before it was even a battle royale. It was just the save the world version, and I was like, I'm not really interested. I only want to play PvP games. So a couple weeks later, the battle royale was introduced, and I played it. And like my first game on, like I made it to like top 6, and I got killed by somebody who was built up in a huge 1x1. And I was like, that's lame. This building stuff is so lame. I don't like this game. And like I tried it for a bit, and then I quit for like 3 weeks because the building, I just didn't like the building. And I was still building by like scrolling through the builds and trying to place them. Someone said, listen, man, you just got to change your keybinds to something that works. And the building is part of the game. So I started actually building. And, you know, early on, I was like catching on to the build stuff really quick. And I started streaming it more consistently. I took a big risk because all my Elder Scrolls viewers and For Honor viewers, like a lot of them were not interested in Fortnite, but I was getting into the game, and I was like, this is an opportunity for me to try something different, try something new. I started doing the how to win videos. And what's funny is that at that point, I was, you know, one of the top, you know, winners in solos. And I had like, I think around season 2 or 3, I had the most solo wins and most solo eliminations in Fortnite in the world.
Oh, wow.
So, but leading up to that, someone asked me in the chat, he's like, hey man, I need some tips. And randomly, I was just like, all right, bro, I'm going to commentate everything I'm doing in this game. So I'm going to like give you some tips while I'm playing. I did that game, won, uploaded that on YouTube. And that was like the first how to win video. And it popped off. And that's really kind of like, it was a big moment because I was like, okay, I could start making these like tutorial videos. People really like them. But even before that, leading up to that, like to actually get that initial platform, it was the Trap Tower, the Fortnite Trap Tower. So I was the first person to come up with it. I haven't seen anybody post a Trap Tower because it was like a few days or the day after the launch pads got added to the game. I was thinking, and I was always thinking like, how can I do something unique to stand out as a streamer? So I was thinking about traps. I was thinking about the launch pad. I'm like, what if I had some contraption where like when they hit the launch pad, it was a guaranteed death. And I've figured out the Trap Tower, built it, pulled it off in game. It went viral, like 50 million views on Facebook. Tons of like channels on YouTube were reposting it, and Twitter and everything. It was just going everywhere. And then the next day, I had like 300, 400 people tuning in when I usually had 100. And it was just because they were all like, oh, I saw your clip. That's so cool. Like, do it again. And I was always trying to do the Trap Tower. And I was always trying to like eliminate the last player in a unique way. And that's kind of where it all started and led into where I am now.
PK, I remember seeing that video and then like counting how many builds high it was to try to replicate it.
Yeah.
And it was always the hardest thing to do because like these players would just be like, oh yeah, like it was like instinctive for players to jump on bounce pads at that time. It was just, I don't care, here I go. And then like they would die. And it was so impressive to see literally, it was everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere. And to see where you are now and how you're still innovating, how to eliminate somebody is really fun to see. You don't want to get clipped by PK. You never want to get clipped by PK.
No, because it's usually with like the brand new item that came out, and I'm like eliminating you in a funny way, and everyone's clipping it.
And that's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about how Fortnite has created opportunities for people like you guys. I'm really curious of what opportunities Fortnite created for you specifically as a content creator that are notable or that stand out to you as something that was a really cool experience.
Oh, wow. Opportunities. I mean, there have literally been so many things that I've been able to do just because of Fortnite, or things that have just changed. Kind of thinking back to, I mean, I guess a lot of the success from Fortnite made me pop off on Twitch, and popping off on Twitch made me, be invited to certain things. So all that kind of comes from Fortnite, and some cool things that we did with Twitch. I remember we went down to Miami. We all got on a yacht. We all were jet skiing around. We got to go to Super Bowl game at the time.
Wow.
I remember I got to throw the first pitch at one of the games close to my home, the Phillies game. Rang the bell at the 76ers game. These are all things that, I wanted to do when I was a kid, and being able to kind of do those now is just so incredible and something I never thought in my life I'd be doing. So a lot of that has to come from Fortnite, but things other than that, I mean, obviously wonderful partners that I work with every day. We have them, and then, honestly, just everything that I've been doing in my career is all from Fortnite. So literally nothing else. It's just all Fortnite.
It's incredible.
So yeah, huge thanks to them.
There's been so many opportunities. I mean,
yeah,
I think I was one of the first people that like did some sort of like activation with Epic. It was me and Hamlin's and a handful of people who went to San Francisco for a game developer convention that Epic was at. And they had like a little like a streaming station with a rideable llama that you could like get on top and like try to stay on, and it was throwing people off. Ali was there, and it was the first time I met someone from the Fortnite community. It was me and Hamlin's hanging out. It was such a cool experience, and like since then, there's been streamer bowls and different activations, and just today they sent me a pair of Jordans for the
Let's go
for the Jordan collab, and they're always sending stuff. They sent the Naruto package and everything. So now it's like all these collabs that they're doing, it's no longer just like Fortnite X, whoever. It's like the Fortnite community and like the creators collabing with all these cool different IPs and shows and animes and whatnot. So and then they've given me the bundle. They've done the SypherPK trio tournament, which is like a pretty competitive tournament that we did, and a bunch of cool stuff that's in the works. But it's been quite an amazing experience because they've been a part of everything from like the content behind the scenes to like inviting me to you were there at the Venom premiere. Epic invited us to go watch the Venom movie early before it even released, and same thing, they invited me to watch Dune here in Austin. So like from the top to the bottom, they're always working with their creators and giving us cool opportunities to do cool stuff.
Yeah, I think it sets them apart from so many other companies out there. Like they really are so intentional with content creators, and it speaks to their like their keen eye to make that stuff happen. So that's really rad. All right, PK, question for you. At this point, you're a household name, I would say. The amount of content you can juggle is second to none. What keeps you playing and creating content specifically for Fortnite, as opposed to other games? You've played plenty of other games, but what keeps you coming back to Fortnite, man?
It's actually something that no other game has been able to do. It's just the constant updates and the constant like story progression that's going on. Like every week there's just something different dropping. Like there's a hint here, there's an update here, there's a new weapon. And it's so fun and like stress-free to create content around Fortnite because there's always content to be created. A lot of other games, they'll have a content update. It'll be a while before you get something new. And during that phase, you're kind of juggling like, oh, what should I do? What should I cover? in Fortnite, it feels like sometimes stuff's happens so fast. You get a collaboration the same day as an update, the same day as a new weapon, a POI change. So there's always enough content, and that's kind of why I have 2 Fortnite channels and I have the React channel. There's like always something happening. So that's why. It's just a constant stream of content, collaborations, and nonstop changing like environment.
It's starting to turn into a culture, right? Like I think the metaverse, what they're trying to do with that, like it's fascinating to me. Like I've been trying to pay attention. I think there's been big news about Fortnite almost every week for the past year.
Yep.
Like it does not stop. It really does not stop. It's a good time to be a part of the Fortnite community because there's just so much happening. And yeah, I completely agree with that. Bugha, what about you, man? Like what keeps you coming back to Fortnite? You already won, you already won all of the money. Why are you still here? What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is literally just my competitive drive, and me wanting, continue to be one of the best Fortnite players. Because ever since World Cup, I mean, that's just something, that I'm always gonna hold on to, and something I always want to continue doing. I won recently a trio or 2 major trio tournaments, so that's been really cool. But my goal, honestly, at the end of this is to win a major tournament in each game mode. So I've already won one in solos, already won one in trios, and now I just want to win one in duos and hopefully squads if they come back.
Chapter 3, right? Duos.
Yeah. And
it's coming for you.
I'll feel complete then at that point. But until then, I mean, just want more. I just want to continue playing, continue grinding.
It would be remiss of me to not talk to you about the World Cup. I'm sure everywhere you go, you probably talk about this. But I feel like I guess the initial hype, the craziness of all of that publicity has settled a little bit. Have you had time to process everything that has happened since the World Cup, man?
I mean, yeah, I think I've honestly settled in with a lot of it. Not even sure myself if I still understand how huge the entire thing was. I've never been like completely shocked by it. I remember one time I was laying in bed though, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, wow, that is crazy. Like I won the World Cup. Like that is just so unreal. But yeah, I mean, I think I've started to settle in with it a bit. It's been pretty much like over 2 years now, so
Yeah.
it's been crazy. I miss it, but yeah, I mean, at that time when I first originally won, I think I was 16, around like 10th grade. That was just completely life changing. It was something so crazy that I never thought I would experience in my life. Like going out onto such a huge stage, having so many people watch me, and then just completely dominating that tournament was just, I don't know. It's just something I can't even explain with words. It's just a feeling. You get a few kills and you hear the entire crowd just roar, and you just you like feel it in your body. Just I don't know. But it's been something so unreal to me, and still sort of processing a little bit of it. I'm sure when I get a bit older, I'll understand it more. But yeah, I'm kind of just still going with the flow. But yeah,
did you just numb everything out? Like when you were competing, like I feel like live events are very different. PK can also speak to this. Like when you're at a live event, it's a different energy, different environment, like especially in competitive nature, right? Like where you hear the audience reacting to you. It's hard to kind of sound that out sometimes. I mean, we have headphones on, but like when you're competing on that level, it's very different. Did you notice any difference in your gameplay as you were playing in like on that stage versus like, streaming at home?
Yeah, so one of the things back then, when I used to, one of my main reasons for streaming was to get people to, like hype me up and, kind of just give me confidence. That's always been a thing that streaming has done for me when I played. I'll usually pop off, kill some people, and everyone's freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, you're crazy, all that. And that honestly pushes me and makes me play a lot better. So at the World Cup, I remember when I got like my first kills, I think they were spectating me, and I just heard the crowd roar, and I was like, wow, like that's cool, that's a good feeling. And yeah, I guess you could say I numbed it out in a way, but at the same time, it honestly gave me more confidence and it made me play better, just because of how great of a start I had. I mean, I went out and won the first game with 9 kills, and like having that adrenaline and the confidence afterwards is just it's such a huge factor in the rest of your gameplay. It really is.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah, I
incredible.
loved it. It was
I feel
awesome.
like both of you guys have evolved friendships through the last 4 years of this game. I'd love to hear like how, you know, Fortnite has played a part in the evolution of the friendships that you have today, probably with other content creators, but also Bugha, you talked about friends. But what does that look like for you guys?
Well, so a lot of times people ask me like when do you realize that you made it as a content creator, like you're on the big screen now? And something that really clicked for me is the first time I was in a squad with Lupo, Tim, and Ninja. And specifically, Tim, he was a big inspiration for me to become a streamer because I actually tuned into his stream way back when he was announcing that he was quitting his job and he was streaming Call of Duty at the time. So that was like 2014, 2013 ish, maybe even before that. So it was really OG Twitch time. And years later, me and him were in a squad together, you know, playing Fortnite, raising money for charity. It was during the St. Jude's charity streams that we were doing. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And first game with the boys. And there was a huge charity incentive if you headshot snipe somebody while riding a rocket. And this is my first time playing with all these guys. Everyone's watching. And the first game, I'm like, all right, give me a rocket ride, Ninja. Jump up. He hits the rocket ride. Last player left. I do an emote. I do the flip emote, and then I scope in, headshot snipe for the win. And I was like, I got it. And then Ninja's like, you hit it? You hit it? I'm like, yes. And it was just like, I was like, oh my God, man. Like, this is incredible. And it was like a $25,000 snipe for charity.
That's huge.
Wow.
But those friendships have lasted forever. And then like shortly after that, it was the Nick Merckx duo.
Mm-hmm.
We played in the first tournament together, and Nick Merckx had given me a lot of compliments about my stream and my educational videos. And he was watching them too to try to figure out some things. This is back when he was still on console, and there was the Friday Fortnite, kill race tournaments happening, and he was like, "Let's." I asked him if he wanted to play with me. He was like, "I'm down," and we were trying to like get on at the same time to try to practice beforehand. He was like streaming at midnight to 6 a.m. I was starting my stream at 6 a.m. So we had like conflicting schedules and we never got to play together until the day of the tournament. So we get in, we play together, we win the whole thing. I think it was like $5,000 or $10,000. First time playing, we win that tournament, and from there, that friendship was just like solidified until today.
That's so cool. I love that. What about you, Bugha?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the majority of it is a lot of my inspirations, from forever. I have the ability to, like play with now and speak to. I honestly don't play with too many huge creators, but I always know that like I'm one DM away from it. And, I played with Ninja a lot. He's honestly probably my biggest inspiration when I came into gaming and, just Fortnite in total. So, that's one of the closest and most cool friendships that I have. But besides that, I mean, a lot of my other friendships and connections kind of come from the competitive scene, just because I've been in it for such a long time. Guess it's been a little bit different for Sypher since he was in the content creation side of a lot of it. So he was always making content with the big names. And that's something really cool that I miss out on a little bit. But a lot of my really close connections come from, just some of the low key comp players. One of the people on my org currently, Zypha, he's been literally a day one there from the beginning, there before World Cup, all that. So yeah, the friendships I've earned throughout the game are just incredible. I also think one of the coolest things is being able to, play with people and talk to people from other regions completely. And it's like, because of a video game, I'm speaking to someone completely across the country, and I'm also able to play with them if I want to also. And it's just, that's something that's so crazy, and I love just about online gaming in general. Just about how you can make those connections without even, just meeting the person. They like you for the person you are online, and how you act with others. So yeah, I mean, friendships have been awesome throughout Fortnite, and honestly gained so many. So it's been cool.
So I feel like Cypher, you got to put him on the rocket now.
Yep.
He's got to be one of the four.
For
Get Nick together, everybody, and put him on the rocket. Let him land that snipe for.
Yeah,
all
I'll
the
be in the
glory.
snipe, please.
That's awesome. Okay, so I have to ask this question because of your guys' status in this game. You guys are foundational pieces of what Fortnite has become. Like, you guys helped grow it to what it is today. What legacy do you feel like you've left people that play the game, or what legacy are you hoping you would leave in this game? I know Bugha's face is literally in it, which I've got a few questions about. But yeah, what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I want to leave a legacy on the players who just play the game for fun. And I feel like a lot of times people say, "Hey, I haven't, been playing as much Fortnite lately, but I watched your videos and it really drew me back into the game because you make it look so fun and you talk about it in such a cool way and always keeping me up to date with everything that's changing." Uh, so being able to keep that like really strong community that plays the game and has a great time, and being remembered for the guy who, you know, stuck with the game from the beginning, always kept it fresh, always kept it exciting. Uh, I guess that's the legacy that I want to leave behind. 'Cause I always liked dabbling in the competitive side of things, but I always knew that my strength and time was better spent on creating cool content that people will always remember.
I feel like that's really well said. I feel like you are one of those people to so many, like even content creators, right? Like, I feel like a lot of content creators look up to you for that exact thing. Like when somebody comes into chat and say, "You're not a professional player, you're not Bugha," I feel like you have encouraged people to come back to a game that some people can get burnt out in. And so I think that's a really cool legacy to leave. That's
Thank you.
awesome. Bugha, what do you got for us? What legacy do you hope to leave or have left in Fortnite?
I guess mine's pretty simple. It's just to be known as the best Fortnite player of all time. That's kind of what I've always wanted to do when I came into the game. So that's what I hope to leave with. But just being able to have you know people, I guess, think that I was one of the greatest of all time to play the game is just something I strive for. And just people, I guess, looking up to me as a player and try to learn things from me, just different skills, different techniques. That's something I've always loved. And honestly, that being a content creator has came in conflict a little bit with the way everything happens. It's just hard to sometimes stream every single tournament because you got the stream snipers out there. You got other factors too, where pro players sometimes when they're not even supposed to, will pull your stream up on the side, figure out what loot you have, where you're at, and they can do stuff and with that information they can ruin your game or whatnot. So it's been a little bit hard to do that for a long time. And I think right after World Cup, I was mainly focused on content creation completely. And as a lot of that kind of cooled off a little bit, all the post World Cup hype, I've been getting myself into competitive more and trying to focus on it super hard because that's the thing that from the very beginning I always told myself, and something I always want to keep true to myself. I never want to change that. Is always just striving to be the best, and I don't want anything else to come in the way of that. But yeah, it's been weird trying to balance both of them out, but I think I've done a pretty okay job at both of them. So yeah, hopefully we can just continue that.
That massive trophy behind you suggests that you have. So we can expect that from you, I'm sure. That's awesome, man. Cool. Okay, so Fortnite has events in the game. Fortnite has outfits in the game. I love asking this question to content creators and competitive players. If you could add something in Fortnite? You can add an event. You can add an outfit. What would you add? And what would that outfit look like? I'm really curious. And I guess we should talk about Bugha, because Bugha literally got an icon skin, which is like a huge honor. What was that process? What was that process like? Did they face scan you? How did that work? Did you have to have those weird like things all over your face? Like, how did that work?
So it's a lot easier than it would sound, but I remember it took quite a while to get the actual finished idea through. I remember we were looking on Twitter for people that came up with some ideas for a skin that I could have, and it first started off as like a robot, with blue, and like my face comes out afterwards. And I don't know, I wasn't really feeling that, so it was kind of just back and forth emails, calls every other week, just doing little things, minor adjustments. Also my dance and everything, I had to get them to understand what that was. At first they were a little bit confused. It was the one where I go like that and twirl in a circle, and people I guess they were questioning it a little bit at first. They're like, okay. And then, I got that dance in there. But yeah, the final edition of my skin was pretty easy. I thought about it and I was like, all right, just World Cup me, normal me. And then we threw that together and came out to what it is today. But the whole scanning process or whatever, all I had to do was, they were like, all right, you can take a selfie for us and we'll do our best to copy it. I was like, all right, pop my phone up, just take a selfie, send it to them. And that's how they did it. And they copied it literally from that. So pretty impressive, because I think it's I think it's pretty spot on to who I am. The details, everything like that, pretty good. So that's impressive from the whole creative side from Epic. So yeah, that was great.
That's incredible. All right, Cypher, I know you have an answer for me. What do you got? What do you want in what do you want in Fortnite? Event and or outfit? We all know you want. We want you to have an icon skin. Literally, I feel like we're overdue for this, but if you could, and you were a little secretive, so maybe it's already happening. I don't know, but what would it look like, man?
I feel like we got to incorporate the Oni mask. That's like my logo, and I feel like I would probably go the same route as Bugha. I kind of have like a normal version of myself, and then have like a different, like kind of cooler version. So Oni mask, maybe shirtless, ripped six pack. I've been working out a lot lately, so trying to get there. And as far as like on the map, like if I wanted or like an event, I would love to see an event go down where like another like unvaulting event, but instead of voting on items, like we vote on like a POI, bring back.
Whoa.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I love that idea.
That's crazy.
That's great.
You just have like a bunch of iconic POIs. You're like, you get to bring one back, and then everyone goes and vote.
What would you put as the 4 POIs to vote from? I'm curious of which ones, if you could control it, like what would you have?
Tilted's got to be there. And then I would put I put the Viking Hill. Me and Nick land there a lot for tournaments. It was really fun. And then I'd put Dusty Divot, like the one with the hole in the ground and the trees and everything. That one's really iconic. And 4th one, maybe
give me the grotto, bro.
Lucky Landing.
Oh, lucky
landing. For Bugha. I'm not a fan of the grotto. I don't know. Oh, really? Everyone's asking about the grotto. I don't care, but I'd probably bring one that's kind of like more low key. Like, do you remember that Starry
Suburbs?
Suburbs.
The place was
just throw that one in as like a.
That's cool.
Different one.
That's good. Bugha, you got an event that you would like to see in Fortnite?
I guess I kind of got the event or game that I wanted to be in Fortnite. I mean, it has always been kind of a faster competitive game mode where you're kind of just right into the action. And, that's what literally late game arena is today.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I always have wished for, and that's pretty much what we got. So
yeah, they really
LTM,
listened.
the late game arena is literally like the best LTM.
Literally, that's so crazy. It's awesome.
It's so great. Do you think we're gonna get a World Cup 2022, Bugha?
I mean, Cypher might know, but
oh yeah, maybe either of you might.
I can only speculate.
So let's hear it.
I mean, 2022, they just came out with their announcement, right? And it was duos, and for the whole year. And I think they also said something about lands where they have to get it confirmed. So
I don't think so. I feel like it's going to be hard to fit a World Cup with the current FNCS. They're doing 4, right? 4 duo tournaments.
Yeah.
There's going to be lands, I think, later on. There's going to be the Streamer Bowl land, which they announced at the Twitch Rivals. And I'm sure there'll be a few other lands, but I think there's going to be some buildup of like them getting back into the land space. And then maybe 2023, we come out with World Cup 2023.
So far away, dude.
I know.
Yeah, it's a long time from now.
I agree with him, though. I think that's what it'll be.
Okay, so this next question I feel like is one of my favorites. I'd love to know your favorite Fortnite moment of all time, if you have one, or if there's multiple, we can parse out a few. But
besides winning the World Cup, so if you...
yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, what is the moment that comes to mind when you think of your favorite Fortnite experience or moment?
I'll say the Black Hole event, the first one. Yeah.
That was huge, bro. That was insane.
That was crazy.
That was unexpected. You know, we streamed it. We didn't know what was gonna happen. Even at the time, like people weren't leaking as much as they are nowadays, and people weren't theorizing as much. But the whole map just got deleted. Everyone watched it, and then we have this black hole screen, and some like everyone's like getting off, and Nick was like, "Yo, PK, let's go play some COD while the game's down." I was like, "I'm just gonna stay on for a bit. Like, I don't know. Let's see what happens, right?" And I'm watching this black hole, and I'm like, "Wait, like, why is there so many people here? 100,000 people were watching me for like 30 hours. We peaked at like 150 to something thousand, and there was these numbers on screen showing up. We started writing down the numbers, figuring out what the words mean, and coming up with a message and theories. And I did like 36 hours of streaming in 2 days. I did 18 hours, and then I slept. I woke up, did another 18 hours into the launch of Chapter 2. So that whole experience was insane, and it was ridiculous. Like, it was a huge stream, huge YouTube videos, and then like the Chapter 2 Season 1 launch was also insane because you're just like watching this trailer. Jonesy jumps out of the bus, and then you're in a game. Like, you didn't even queue up; you're just in a solo.
Right away.
That was nuts. Like, I was like, that's such a cool way to start. I'm curious as to how they're going to try to top that in Chapter 3.
Dude, something that's so funny about that moment is when I jumped out, I landed, and then my keybinds were all messed up.
Same.
And I died instantly.
Same.
Yeah, I had to land and change all my keybinds. I landed lazy, changed all my keybinds, and then I think I won the game. I'm not sure, but
I remember. I think I put on like edit on release because I think that's when it first got announced, right? I'm pretty sure. I just saw that in my thing, and I was like, "What is this?" I switched it on. I started editing, and it was just like super fast. And I was just like, "What is going on?" So I've stayed on it ever since then. But
I wonder what kind of settings they're gonna throw at us this time. I'm excited.
Me too. I hope it doesn't mess with our current ones as much.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep the binds. That way, that first game, you're not like landing in a bush trying to fix your keybinds.
Yeah, I hope that, like, if you're listening to this, maybe just take a picture of your keybinds now, just in case, because that could be a bummer.
I know my keybinds like by memory at this point because I've done a lot of, like, you know, maybe different LAN things and flying out to stream Fortnite from certain places, and they don't have it set up. I'll log in and I'll just be like, okay, and I just kind of like naturally by muscle memory remember everything
in your sleep.
Yep.
Bugha, what about you? Obviously World Cup, you know, but if there's a second moment, what would it be?
Second moment, I think I kind of already spoke on it. It was the time that I eliminated Hamlin's and had everybody come to my stream, all that. I think that really motivated me and pushed me to just continue playing the game. That was just, that has to be my most memorable moment other than World Cup. I literally remember that happening. It was a complete mental switch at that time. At that time I was playing, I was competing, but I wasn't into it like that. And then when I saw the results that can come from it, that's when I got attached, and that's when I got hooked onto it. Just shout out to Hamlins, day one crazy, but
so far
also,
Myth, Ham, and did Daquan play a part? Like, I feel like it's the PSM boys there, dude.
Daquan, I never ran across him in game, but I don't know. I remember Daquan early on. He was really good content. Loved watching him, never had any crazy experiences with him. But besides Hamlin's thing, he covered the black hole. It was the rocket event in chapter 1. That's kind of when I realized that this game is just doing things that other games just don't do or can't do. And that was a really cool moment just for the entire community and everyone else. Just really cool interactive events like that you can just watch go down in thousands of lobbies, more than thousands. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something crazy that Epic can pull off, and still to this day they continue to do.
I feel like I make the mistake very regularly to think, Epic Games probably can't do that. Like that is no longer a thought in my brain. They are like,
I thought that about Naruto.
Oh, did
you?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that the collaboration with Naruto would be like too impossible. Like, it's just like too out there, too different. And now that they did it, I literally don't think there's any collaboration that's impossible.
It's insane. I don't even know how to comprehend how good they are at this stuff. Like, I just not a thought anymore. It's like, this will probably happen. Yeah. Pretty much everything will be in Fortnite at some point in time. You might want to get involved earlier than later because it's going to be massive. It's just going to keep growing. It's wild.
I just realized the shirt you're wearing, by the way.
Yeah.
The metal umbrella. I can't believe it took me that long to recognize it.
You gotta show some love, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into chapter 3. I feel like this is huge. Chapter 3 got announced. People were thinking, wow, season 9, season 10, all of the people that are, I think that's what Epic wanted us to think.
Yeah.
And then chapter 3 gets announced. This is big. Usually chapters mean big things. I'd love to know what you guys think the future of Fortnite looks like in chapter 3, and then what future additions you want in the game that you think would be really great for it to make it thrive in the next, few seasons to come.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, I think chapter 3, I think that it's gonna be probably super futuristic. That's my thought. Because we've been back in time, we've been to the primitive era, we've been to the the normal, but we've never been to a super futuristic. Besides Neo Tilted that time, but I mean, I just think everything's gonna be futuristic. I think the guns and everything are gonna be completely different. I'm hoping to see a new map. I'm hoping to see some OG POIs come back just to have a little bit of this nostalgia still in the game. But as it gets farther down in chapter 3, and who knows what's even going to happen. I mean, I don't even know what to expect, honestly. Just futuristic is my number one thing that I'm thinking about all the time when it comes to this chapter. But I honestly want to see how well they do the end event, because that will tell me a lot about how the next chapter will be, I feel like.
Bugha, how would the competitive community feel about the spaz being plucked from the game? If that were a case, you're saying new guns.
Right.
Like, how do you feel like they would handle that?
I mean, I remember at one time it switched to just charges and tacks, and there weren't even pumps in the game. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't like that, but it honestly was something that I didn't completely mind, because it was a completely new mechanic, the charge shotgun. You had to learn how to use it and get good with it, and that was something I really enjoyed. But a lot of people just, they still like their good old pump shotgun and spaz shotgun. They can just run up and one click and you could be gone. But I don't know. I didn't really mind that change at all. Competitive players though, I think it was a little bit 50-50, maybe more than 50-50 that wanted to pump back. But
Benji, when we talked with him, was like, "Don't ever remove it, Epic Games, or he'll riot." So I wasn't sure if that was similar to you or not.
No, I mean, I'll use whatever. I mean, I love the combat. I love the charge shotgun. I'm trying to think what else there was.
Jack of all trades. Yeah,
that's like
great.
You're
the World Cup champion, so that's a good model.
During the World Cup, right?
Pump during World Cup.
It was just the combat primarily.
Was it really?
Combat and what would it be though? The attack, combat and attack. I don't remember having a different. I think there was a pump. No,
I don't think so.
Really?
How do I not remember that?
We're gonna have to look into that.
Look into
that. I
think
pumps came back towards the end of Season X, but during World Cup it was like Season 9.
Yeah.
So I think it was the combat that did the trick.
And was that when the combat was like overpowered? Like
that's when it was good.
Yeah, it was really strong.
Yeah. Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah,
PK, I feel like you've got this one. I know.
Yeah, so like I feel like Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are a pair. Like that's how I see them, because Chapter 1, Season 4, we had like the superhero, season pass. Chapter 2, Season 4, we have the Marvel season pass. The end of Chapter 2 is we have the mechs and we have the craziness of everything going on. End of Chapter 1, same thing with the mechs. So like they're a pair, they're a rhythm. They kind of mirror each other in ways. And I feel like Chapter 3 is going to break away from that. I feel like it's going to be its own unique thing, with potentially a new map and cool mechanics. And I feel like the story is finally going to start going somewhere else. And like this whole talk of like breaking the loop and stuff, that's really when we'll see it, is in Chapter 3. Because now it's like an opportunity for Epic to kind of start fresh and take the story wherever they want to. Whereas I feel like Chapter 2 kind of had to complete Chapter 1 in terms of story and in terms of like updates and content. And Chapter 3 is like a fresh start at something different. So I want to see new maps with all POIs, potentially. I want to see cool new mechanics. There's all kind of talks about different things that could come. I just want the game to feel fresh and exciting, but still the core of it still needs to feel like Fortnite. More collabs, map changes, and just keep and all the talks about creative 2.0 and stuff. That I feel like is really the future of the game in a way, to keep people exciting with all the crazy stuff that people have been able to create within the game. Take it to the next level in Chapter 3. I'm excited.
I'm pumped. You're gonna be up pretty much for what, like 100 hours now? You upped it. I'm
gonna do 100-hour live stream, but I will sleep. So I'm gonna have some people sub in when I sleep. Gotta keep it healthy. 100 hours straight is not. Crazy. I don't want to promote that.
So it's confirmed a black hole, right?
There's downtime. Actually, we know there's downtime.
Okay.
But the reality is that no one really knows for sure. Even the rumors and leaks are all rumors and leaks, and no one really knows for sure. I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to be like a black hole, but like improved. There could be some different mechanics and stuff. Because I feel like Epic's always trying to one up themselves. Same with the event. I feel like the end event's going to be nuts because they're always improving the events from season to season.
My whole thought is we're going to get the black hole. You know how we had numbers last time and we all turned into like expert detectives. I feel like they are going to do some sort of mini game with us.
Yeah, interactive,
where we're involved in information, whether it's like super vital or not. I think it's a distraction to keep us occupied during the time. Like there's so many memes of kids punching their TVs because Fortnite was down, and Chapter 1 ended. So I wonder if they're going to find some sort of rhythm where like we as a community can work together to try and piece it all together. That'll give us better hints.
I would love that. I would love that because I'm planning to go for 100 hours straight pretty much. So I need something to keep me into it.
Yeah. Okay. So Chapter 3, what about like, what's new in it? Bugha, you had mentioned new guns,
right?
Like in Chapter 2, they introduced swimming, which is a whole nother mechanic. Is there any other like guns I mean, we've heard some things maybe about weapon like adjustments. Yeah, attachments.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you think Fortnite is going to take us? Because I also remember when backblings became a thing, that was like a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
But then now we're used to it. Is there any other cosmetic changes that they could make, or are there any other things that they can expand upon to make Chapter 3 stand apart from Chapter 1 and 2?
I think cosmetically, maybe like a helmet or something. That'd be, I don't know, that'd be cool to me. Like just different
Like
type
adjustable heads in
yeah,
different ways.
different, like hats, helmets, whatever you want to call it, stuff like that. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. But also attachments. Now that you said that, it kind of like I really feel like they're gonna do that. I don't know why, but that just makes so much sense. I could just see them doing it. I could imagine running around and picking up a laser sight or just something crazy, you know?
Yeah.
That's just something I could see Fortnite having. But
I mean, they have
I don't know.
They have car attachments, right? They added the wheels you can throw on the cars.
Wheels, right?
Add on to that, add some bumpers, maybe a turret you can place on the back, maybe like a little forklift type thing. I want them to really bring in some exciting things with their new engine. We're rumored to swap to the new Unreal Engine 5. That should open up opportunities for like cool, like maybe cool weather effects or cool environmental damage. We saw a little bit of that with like the fire stuff and some of the ice and whatnot, but like they could probably take it a step further with the next engine. More vehicles, just nothing too overbearing like the previous mechs, but something interesting, exciting. More map mobility. Like I'm always a fan of like when there's ways to move around the map that's like naturally built into it, like the volcano from the first chapter, slipstreams and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then maybe like so something that they haven't really touched in a long time is building and editing. We got turbo building, we got add-on release, but maybe introduce new edits that could create like cool outplay mechanics, and maybe introduce a unique new building material, or even I don't know, edit styles. Or I feel like adding a completely new build might not work because of limited keybinds and whatnot for certain people. But I feel like that, even though it's the core of Fortnite, you don't want to mess with that too much. It's kind of scary because when they nerfed turbo building, everybody got really upset, so they reverted it. But like small changes that could potentially add on to like the best part of the game, which is building and editing, could potentially go a long way.
And traps. I feel like we haven't seen too much to do with traps this chapter.
Yeah, we got the armored walls, which are cool. I like them. I don't think they're in competitive. And if they were in competitive, they would have to be adjusted because I think it'd be too much. Because I know like the counter to them is like the shockwave launcher, but that's not a competitive. So if you had armored walls, there would be an imbalance there. But I as the former trap king, someone who really liked using the trap eliminations, I would like them to return, but in a more balanced way, because I feel like the game has progressed. Back then, people couldn't just box you up so quickly and like place a trap on your wall. Nowadays, if like the traps existed the way they were, it'd be a nightmare for any casual player. You'd get pieced up,
dude. It'd be
trapped. So like, I would like to see maybe unique traps be reintroduced. Maybe like the zapper, but it's repurposed and it just kind of electrifies your opponent or something like that. So, but definitely balance needs to be had because people have gotten a lot better at the game. So
I'm always an advocate of like, I want to have a build where at the bottom of the middle, you can just make a little doggy door. Like just crouch in and be like, like
or slide a nade in.
What if you could do it? What if you could like edit anywhere? Like anything you click on would work. How would that even work?
I mean, that would be cool. Like if any edit was possible and they just created like so many different possibilities of what a wall could turn into, you would do two things at the same time. You'd increase the skill ceiling because people would come up with new strategies and new peaks, but you'd also make editing more accessible because some of the newer players who like mess up their edits over and over will now at least like create something instead of just having
create art.
It's
a dog.
Cool.
Yeah. What about like vaulting? Do you guys think we'll get like maybe a like wall riding or vaulting it at some point in time? Because I mean, we're building up, right?
Yep.
And I feel like we don't have much parkour abilities. It's like
True.
if you get knocked down, you're hitting the ground, or you're hitting hopefully water or something. But like you can't really parkour much. Do you think we're gonna get movement adjustments at all for Chapter 3, or are we?
I would like to
far gone
see.
from that?
I would like to see sliding. I feel like a lot of games these days have it, and it would be a cool mechanic because maybe people who are getting back into Fortnite with Chapter 3, who are coming from other games that have sliding mechanics, would feel comfortable. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm familiar with this, and I slide in Halo or Apex or Call of Duty or whatever."
Right.
But bringing it to Fortnite, I feel like it could change up the pace, change up the game, and also be a thing for returning players to kind of attach themselves to. Because maybe their building and editing skills isn't that great, but they can move around really well, and it gives them something to kind of fight back with. So I would like to see sliding or some sort of movement change for the game.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like the parkour thing, that would be a little bit weird because the core foundation of Fortnite is like build up, you can't fall off your builds or else you're dead, and like you can't mess things up. But if you're parkouring everywhere, you fall off your build and you just side run up a building and like jump off, do like I don't know, some crazy builds. But the sliding mechanic, I think that would be pretty cool. As long as you can't like completely slide and shoot at the same time, maybe that would be cool because like imagine you're trying to, I don't know, just imagine you're in some sort of close engagement fight and like
And they just like
fighting a guy and he just swivels and full slides to a different direction while shooting you. Like
it has to feel smooth or people will abuse it. That's the issue.
Literally.
Like, it has to feel smooth and fair. Like it can't just be that someone just all of a sudden just drops to the ground and like disappears into the builds, because it's already hard enough to track people sometimes with all the craziness. So you have to be careful with it.
I think I know what they could do with that. I mean, like, think about when you're sliding. Like a normal slide on normal elevation would just work the way it should. You'll just slide for like half a second or whatever, and then pop up, and then like you'll have a little cooldown on it.
Yeah,
I think it would be cool if the elevation changes, and when it goes downhill, when you slide, it continues that momentum or it speeds up. I think that would be pretty cool, just as like a little momentum changer in the game. Like when you're going down places, you can slide, continue that, and you can get there quicker. I think that would be cool.
Imagine if you could build downwards ramps while sliding. Like if you want to get down from height really fast.
Okay, that would be crazy.
So cool.
You have your blueprint out and you're like building while sliding.
That would be crazy. Yeah,
that's
honestly.
Amazing.
But what would the keybind be? Like, what would it just be? You hold down your crouch button? Like, how would that work?
Yeah, good question.
I don't know. They would have to figure that out. I don't have like, I mean, I have sprint on, right? So it could be just a sprint bind, but it might be different for other people.
What do you guys feel about double movement making an official appearance from Epic Games as an option?
I would like that. I don't. So I tried double movement, and I ended up like not using it anymore because I mean I'm a casual player, content creator. I didn't feel it like it was super necessary, but it was cool to be able to have like kind of more sharp turns and more control of my movement. I felt like, and I feel like a lot of pro players these days, they utilize it, and it's a competitive thing. Obviously, Epic has come out and said it's allowed. I think it should just be in the game. It should just be, you should be able to adjust your character's movement like angle, so no one has to like download like random third-party software to get that movement. So I would like to see it be introduced like as a mechanic you can change and to kind of slide, similar to how you can change like different sensitivities and different aim assist modes and whatnot. Just be able to change your movement.
Yeah, that kind of points on like, the skill ceiling in general for Fortnite is increasing, but double movement increases it way more. The angles that you can use and the way you can just use your builds with it is actually insane. Still hasn't even been figured out completely, but I think that also speaks on something where like if you're adding double movement in the game, like why not FOV or something like that, like other crazy things. So it's like that makes me wonder, like, would they do that? I don't know. And FOV is something like we haven't touched on in a long time. I haven't heard a single thing about that in forever. I don't know if it's because did they make a statement or did everyone just kind of give up on it?
It's been talked about a lot, and people just feel like it's not going to happen.
It's like the double pump where people just finally just were like, oh, we're going to stop arguing about it. Like,
all right, well, that's on my wish list. The FOV comes back or something.
I would like FOV too. I would like
that. Would be big. Like nobody is thinking about that, and then boom, we just get an FOV slider. That would cause a lot of craziness in the game.
For sure,
people would like it. I mean,
yeah.
Well, guys, my last question for you. I know a lot of listeners are huge fans of both of you. What projects are you working on that they can look forward to? And in what ways can we support you guys as a podcasting community?
I'm always working on a lot of crazy stuff, new YouTube channels and things like that. But over the last few months, I've launched my own clothing brand, Metal Umbrella. Squatingdog's rocking one of the first collection pieces. And we just dropped a new collection, and we have actually 2 more collections in the works. So it's been a cool adventure of going from like content creation into like clothing entrepreneur. And it's been really exciting to see the support from my community and from the Fortnite scene as well. So I guess that's the main thing, besides follow me on Twitch and YouTube at SypherPK.
And then that's metalumbrella.com if they want to purchase something.
Yeah. If you want to go, it's just metalumbrella.com. People think that the name has anything to do with Fortnite. It's just a coincidence. But, if you think it has to do with Fortnite, then go ahead and get it because you think it's Fortnite stuff.
It's great.
Yeah, I guess kind of what Cypher's saying. I mean, always working on new things, but I don't have anything specifically to shout out yet. Hopefully in the near future, we'll create something as big as what he's doing with his own personal brand. I've released some merch here and there, but hasn't, I haven't done anything too crazy yet, but big ups to Cypher for doing all that. It's really cool. So cool. Hopping into that scene is awesome. Just being able to do different things with our platform. It's really cool. But besides that, I mean, Bugha on all socials, whatever. My main things are, Twitch, YouTube, and yes, Twitter. I mean, I use Twitter, TikTok, all those, but those are my 2 main, YouTube and Twitch. So
awesome. Yeah, last words for our listeners.
See you on the flip side.
Good luck in chapter 3. I mean, it's about to be crazy, honestly. That's all.
Is this going to go up before chapter 3 or after?
This will go up before. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. See on the flip side works. Applies here. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bugha and SypherPK, for being on this season of the Unvaulted Podcast. Also, an incredible thank you to Epic Games, who helped sponsor this podcast as well. And of course, a very special thank you to all of our listeners. Feel free to connect with us on Twitter at Unvaulted Pod or the Squatingdog. Who do you think will be the next World Cup champion? Is it going to be 2022, 2023? Bugha again? Time will tell, and hopefully an announcement soon, Epic Games. Until next time, I'm Squatingdog. We'll see you later, nerds.